Chapter 04 First friend. To say the least, I was surprised. Real sorry for calling you a softie. No question at all, he's dangerous. I'll blame my rude attitude on the lack of sight, not like that will achieve anything. Oi! Do you remember our promise? And besides, for all that complaining, you've learned it pretty easily. Of course. I was just kidding. I can see my surrounding, and I can also hear sounds. Thank you. I could have taken more time learning it, though. Well, I should be fine. Got scared a bit, but can't ignore the fact that this dragon has been so nice to me. Moreover, he really is just lonely. Just from the glance, he's looks like he's lost a lot, kind of like the crying red ogre. TL note, look up the ogre who cried on Google for more information. So, what shall you do now? I think I'll go around looking for fellow world travelers, though no harm if I don't find any. Finding some would be good, but only if on good terms. And besides, since I finally can see, might as well see the world. The world seems so much bigger now. No need to munch on grass to kill time anymore. But, this dragon doesn't seem like he can even move a muscle. And you're saying he stayed like that for 300 years? By the way, Felderasan mentioned that you have been sealed. Mew. Ah, yes. I made the mistake of underestimating a small nuisance. Had I went all out, I would not have been defeated. Somehow, the way he announced defeated sounded prideful rather than anything. Honestly, doesn't really seems like sword nor spear, and certainly not magic, can even wound this guy, but was he really so strong? What beast could possibly be stronger than him? The outside world is scarier than I thought. Probably. It is so. Strong indeed. Clothed in divine protection, the humanity's hero. Hero. I'm rather familiar with the term from gaming. Recently, the stumbled into the position of a hero plotline has been popular, but I don't remember them being so overpowered. In this world, seems like they are truly strong. Speaking of, the hero referred to oneself as the summoned. Could the hero have been from your world? No. No one is that strong in my world. Nay, the world travelers in this world typically hold some special power. That is what serves as the power to etch their souls into this world. The summoned most certainly holds some special power. Most likely, holding the one-of-a-kind unique skill. Different from those who stumble by chance, summoned souls are especially strong. The success rate is less than 0.03%, but in this hero's case it succeeded. When you say summoning, do you mean calling something out with magic? As you say. It is a 3-day ritual involving 30 people. The success rate is low, but success is typically met with a powerful weapon. Weapon. The summoner engraves a curse into the soul of the summoned to prevent rebellion. What's with that? Are summoned people not recognized as humans? Humans, world travels sometimes complain about that. That type of thing is but an illusion in this world. Survival of the fittest, that is the only truth in this world. I see. It's pretty hard to accept this world summoning with my world stories in mind. In that case, would the world travelers also be treated much like slaves? That would depend on the person. They have not received the monster warding charm. Those that do either live quiet lives or become adventurers, or something like that. Truly, among the many foes I have repelled, quite a few came from another world. Fohahaha. In other words, forced labor is only limited to the summoned case. I do not know whether it is appropriate to call it labor, but, so be it. I know much about humans, but certainly not everything. That's only to be expected, sorry. Rather, for a dragon he seems extremely informed. Anyways, just talking makes him seem so happy, and he answers any question. So for now, the dragon and I, will continue our conversation. About how he fought the hero. About how strong the hero was. White skin. Deep crimson, small lips. Jet black, long hair. Not too tall, petite, and thin physique. And though the eyes were hidden by a mask, that the hero was beautiful was clear. A woman. So, was it her looks that got him? When I asked that, "Don't be spouting nonsense," came the angry reply. She carried a peculiarly curved blade called a katana and fought without a shield. Unique skill, certain severance, unique skill, endless prison. With these skills, and every form of magic, she overwhelmed me. So he happily exclaimed. I understood the tale, but, this dragon, he just loves humans, huh? He calls them small fry and trash, but it seems he has never killed any of them. At least those that have not earned his wrath. That one time, 300 years ago, after a certain incident, he turned one city to dust. And due to that incident, the hero was dispatched, and Feldera was sealed. By the hero's skill, endless prison. I doubt I can understand the dragon's feelings. More than it just being someone else's emotion, in the end, imagination can hardly lead to true sympathy. But, at least I can say that he isn't a bad dragon. And hey, I like him. So of course I'm no longer afraid of him. And so, okay. So, with me, no, can we be friends? Ouch, that's still pretty embarrassing. I must be bright red right now. What did you say? For the feared storm dragon Feldera to become friends with someone of SS Slime's social standing. Well, if you hate it that much, stupid. You. Nobody said anything about hating. Then. What will you do? Let's see, well, if you insist. I can consider, somehow, it seems he is timidly stealing glances my way. Had this been done by a cute girl, I'd be very happy, but when it's done by an evil-looking dragon. Well, it is interesting. I insist. Decide. If you hate, the deal's off. No second chances. Cho. Then I have no choice. I'll become your friend. Show me your gratitude. Phew. This dragon isn't very obedient. I also aren't, so we're a good fit. Then, I'll be in your care. And let me grant you a name. You also give me one. Huh? Why? So suddenly? To etch into our souls that we are equals. As humans call it, family name type of thing. The one I grant you will bestow upon you diving protection. You still lack a name, so you shall become a named monster now. Mew mew. So, I have to come up with a family name, one for common use, huh? I'm not really good at this stuff. Since you are called the Storm Dragon, how about simply Tempest? That's no good, right? Since it sound good, I simply took Storm and changed it into Tempest. It's decided. What a wonderful name. He liked it? From now on, I am Feldera Tempest. And you shall be called Rimuru. Rimuru Tempest shall be thine name. And that name was etched into my soul. From what I can see and feel, I don't feel any different. But somewhere deep in my soul, I felt something change. That would be something to mention to Feldera, wouldn't it? And so, I have become friends, or would it be more appropriate to call the soulmates, with him? Oh, and before I go, I wanted to ask. Is there nothing you can do about that seal? Not with my power. If it were a unique skill like that of a hero, then it could perhaps be possible. You do not possess any unique skills. I do. But from the moment the seal was placed, I could no longer use any. I barely managed retaining my telepathy. At the moment, the hero's unique skill Endless Prison seals the target in endless time and imaginary space, an unpleasant skill that does not permit interference from here. Though it does seem strange that the only thing he can do is to communicate telepathically. It's not like the skill weakens with time, after all. Being able to even recognize the present and converse with other creatures all seem like example of interference. What's unusual is Felder himself here. Of course, both us notice this. Alright. There's something I want to try. As I said that, I touched Feldera. And, attempting to predate unique skill Endless Prison via unique skill predation, failure as expected, a hero seal is not going to be this easy. For but a second, interference with the hero's skill released a blinding light, but then it returned to normal. Seems like for a brief moment, a seam opened in this endless prison. But it quickly restored itself. And anyways, since it's also a unique skill, something'll happen type of thing will only lead to trouble. Isn't there anything I can do? What to do? Solution. Unique skill Endless Prison has been partly analyzed. I shall present the escape method. It is impossible for flesh to escape. Physical damage-wise, the chance of destroying the prison is 0%. With regards to the imaginary space escape method, the analysis proved impossible. Analysis in identical situation imprisonment in an endless prison is necessary for analysis. Therefore, currently this is impossible. The chance of releasing a spiritual body is 1%. Should one prepare a host for the spirit ahead of time, and move there in the process, the success rate increases to 3%. At the moment, this process is similar to reincarnation. Should the affinity with the host be poor, memories and skills will all be reset. End of the report on escape methods, FAMU. The chances are far too low. Doesn't look more than flimsy film, this endless prison skill. But for it to be impervious to physical damage, there must be some weakness to this absolute defense. Did hero take any damage? Any wounds or something? Well asked. Our blows were well watched, and I have landed a few direct hits. But, there was no effect. Death calling whines, black lighting, and even storm of destruction. All are skills that cannot be evaded, and yet no effect. I gave up. It was laughable. And all other similar babble would end in Feldera's loud laughter. Unique skill Endless Prison was definitely used to cover her body. If all outside interference is negated, no shield is necessary. What a useful skill. Unique skill Certain Severance Unique skill Endless Prison. If you combine these two, wouldn't you be essentially invincible? Definitely don't want to meet her. She should have passed away by now, so should be okay. Without a question, she belonged in the strongest class. In reality, Feldera was also in the strongest class, but the Rimuru of the time could not have known this. Anyways. The escape to host method, To escape, a host to transfer the soul to seems to be necessary. It is also possible to escape in a spiritual body, but the success chance is low. Don't really see the reason to mention the percentages. If Feldera's desire to escape decreases, so could the chances. There was an escape method. Honestly, after some 100 years my magical energy hit empty. Probably since I didn't stop the flow of magical energy. I see, that would be the reason why the magical energy concentration around here is so high. The truly strong monsters also avoid this area. Grass also hardly grows underground. Only some rare vegetation inhabits these caves. I remembered about the hippoc grass. In this case, it's a pretty valuable medicine. Well, since that's the case, will you attempt to escape? If you had a place to transfer to, the chances would be higher, and also, what's considered a good host? Unfortunately, even if I detach my spirit, to gather the magical energy into a single core is rather difficult. By opening a seam in the seal, that's how this will succeed. And a host, that is, preparing a new core and moving there, reincarnation. This guy. I thought that he might be slightly slow-witted, but he perfectly understood all of it. How wondrous, he reached the same conclusion as the great sage. That's the thing. So, if there's something I can prepare, should I go look for it? The thing is, I don't really need a core, and keep the secret? I am a being perfect as one. Especially durable. I am a spiritual life form, and thus have no attachment to this body. I merely responded to the wishes of religions and the like when forming it. Again with that incomprehensible stuff. And so we spoke until I understood. The result. Gather the magical energy with one's mind, and then form the flesh. At the moment, the flesh being bound is beyond question, but the mind also cannot affect the surrounding magical energy. That's the situation. So I asked if he could leave as a spirit. That is impossible. I would require an offering. Is what he said. If he were to leave in this way, he would scatter with the magical energy and cease to exist. And, somewhere else, another storm dragon would be born. That is one means of escape, but if there's no meaning to it, if it means becoming a different person, I'm at a loss. Wouldn't eating Feldera with Predator be a better alternative? Place him into the Predator's stomach, analyze at depth the endless prison's effects and eliminate just them. Could this work? Solution. Target, Feldera can be absorbed with the unique skill Predator. It's possible, If I explain it, will he consent? If this goes on, after 100 years of isolation, only to disappear would be his fate. And so, I explained to Feldera the Predator ability and how I thought to use it. This would be impossible, however, without the great sage ability correction. Quahahaha. Interesting. Of course I'll try it. To you, I'll entrust my everything. Should you be trusting me so easily? Of course. Rather than waiting for you to come back here, tearing endless prison asunder and leaving together inside of you sounds so much more amusing. I see. Not alone. Together. Isn't it fine? With Great Sage and Predator, I'll continue analysis and seek to free Feldera from his imprisonment. And in this stomach there is no fear of scattering and disappearing. I think we can do this. All right. I'll eat you now, try to break out of endless prison, okay? Kukuku. Leave it to me. Don't wait, I'll pause it for you. Okay. I made my decision. I touch Feldera, and begin predation. In a second, the giant Feldera disappeared from my view. That was too quick. He was speaking up until a second ago. Having disappeared so suddenly, makes me lonely. The skill highly depends on the target's resistance to being absorbed, but as expected of Veladra no resistance whatsoever. Must say, I'm surprised I could absorb that huge body. It seems that at the moment, my stomach is 25% occupied. Just how big of a space have I got in there? And. Will you begin analysis of the unique skill Endless Prison? Yes/no. I beg you. As if in a prayer, I accepted. Status name, Remura Tempest species, Slime Divine Protection, the Storm Crest title, None Magic, None Techniques, Unique Skill Great Sage, Unique Skill Predator, Slime Specific Skill Dissolve, Absorb, Regeneration, Skill Hydraulic Propulsion, Extra Skill Magic Perception Resistances, Thermal Fluctuation Resistance X, Physical Damage Resistance, Pain Resistance, Electricity Resistance, Paralysis Resistance.